Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today we're going to see what Shady Aries is doing in Tarotland. Trying to overwhelm people, make them be a slave to their fiery Aries nature of wanting to maybe control and be the boss and follow all their lusts and drives and anger and jealousy and passion and selfishness so that they'll send a message or take immature action because Shady Aries energy is immature. They are probably in charge of a group of people, maybe a family or at work, but they aren't fit for the position. And they say, try to put an end to other people who are trying to take a leap of faith and put an end to any thoughts you had of taking a leap of faith and getting in the driver's seat and decide instead to just look successful, but don't get emotionally balanced and put in the work and effort. That's too much work. It's overwhelming to try to do things the right way. Shady Aries tries to tell people we can accomplish our goals by just being selfish and greedy. So let's just act like a King of Cups, pretend that we've healed, but the truth is we really don't want to move forward and learn our lessons. Because if we did learn our lessons, we'd maybe have to apologize and tap into that inner youthful nature of hope, faith, and belief and love and align within ourselves. We don't want to do that. Let's just go for the things we want. Maybe send a message to a Scorpio that we want to take a leap with them and be kind of in shallow emotions, of shallow Scorpio emotions. Just keep it at death, sex, taxes. Let's be intimidating. Let's be controlling. And let's take a leap of faith towards that and move away from true victory and success and emotional balance of taking the reins of our free will and learning how to discipline ourselves. Let's not do that. So let's go see how Shady Aries energy is trying to overwhelm people. Tell us about the Ten of Wands. Yup. Let's cause some conflict and fighting for people who are intuitive, for people who do want to have a new beginning and have everything illuminated. And let's be defensive to them and act immature because really, probably Shady Aries wouldn't be able to entice people who probably weren't kind of immature anyway. You know, they really haven't been someone who's tapped into the energy of self love in order to grow and mature themselves. So, those people are a little bit more susceptible. And they probably like to play the wounded warrior anyway to elicit pity from other people. So, let's use all of our efforts instead of using our Ten of Wands effort to take that bold creative action to keep pushing forward. Let's just become a slave to our wants and dreams and desires and put a lot of effort into being competitive with other people, trying to create a competitive energy so that, instead of us having to do the work, maybe these people who are really trying to move forward in a positive way will be wounded, and then they'll maybe be a little defensive about moving forward. And maybe instead of moving forward and going forward successfully, maybe they'll decide to come towards us because we've kind of been controlling and intimidating. And we can secretly kind of try to have a new beginning with us being defensive. That'd be great. Because then everybody will kind of focus on us and our conflict and the fighting and the competition we've caused. And the reason Shady Aries wants to do this, they kind of go after the people who are a little immature and always get caught up in their head with fears and anxiety, and they don't work through those in order to pick them apart one by one and analyze them and say, is this true? Is that true? Why do I think that thought? Maybe I can throw away that thought. That's not true. Whoever gave me that thought Did somewhere in childhood that get planted in my psyche and I really need to discard that to move forward in my life? Instead, shady Aries likes people to be up in their head. So if they entice someone else to decide to cause conflict and fighting and competition, then those other people will be up in their head too. It's kind of like a twofer. Shady Aries tries to work on one person to make them feel overwhelmed by their dreams and desires and wants and lusts and greed because they're in their head already. And if Shady Aries can get to them and make them cause conflict and fighting by being a little black and white in their thinking and controlling, maybe they can get the other people who were going to move forward positively too. So it's like a twofer. What is this immature action of the Page of Wands? Let's go have a new beginning with someone who's single. That way, maybe the partner we were with in a loving relationship, this is Cancer energy and this is Cancer energy. So they could have been on their way to healing with someone moving forward successfully, but Shady Aries kind of whispered in their ear and they said, I know. Let's go cause some conflict and competition by having the idea that we'll maybe become single and take creative action in a home or relationship or marriage to create confusion and illusion so that we can see our dreams come in that way. And then we can have our dream of being a shady Aries emperor where it's all about us and we can stay immature and we don't have to become balanced or figure out anything and get in the driver's seat of our free will. We can just let our free will run us off into the ditch. So they probably decided that's what they were going to do. There might be a round two to this story. So, yep. They decided in the Knight of Swords that they're going to kind of be combative and defensive because they're unwilling to move forward. Tell us about the Scorpio. So they could have communicated to Scorpio, and they also could have communicated to their own shadowy Scorpio nature. And probably the whole reason why this started is because the person that they were in a relationship with in this positive relationship, that person was in touch with that youthful, creative, hopeful nature, and they wanted to move forward. And they wanted to have a new inspired beginning where people were self-abundant and self-stable, and they separated themselves from their old foundations and, the worldliness and everything to step into their own. And when this person, and they wanted to take creative, inspired action in the relationship and see all the emotional possibilities of having hope and faith and belief to see their dreams come in. And this person was like, oh my gosh, that causes me a lot of emotional confusion to think of. I'd have to become self sovereign. I'd have to stand up for myself. I'd have to become independent from the world and maybe my original family and not be codependent on people. Eek. I think I'm going to try to see my dreams come in by being shady and bossy and controlling. So, yes, in their shady, maybe with a Scorpio could have told them, you should emotionally be impulsive and reckless and non-committal, and maybe you should go get in a relationship with someone else, maybe a Scorpio, and be in your Scorpio nature. And that's what they decided to offer their emotions to. You know what? I'm just going to do what I want and be a player. Because I don't really want to give up my foundation that I cling to. If I do that, I'd have to work together with others cooperatively. I'd have to open up. I'd have to be willing to maybe move forward in my life. And if I move forward, I'd have to go through a little period of being out in the cold if I chose to detach from my old foundations and worldliness in order to expand my consciousness. I think I'll choose to be selfish and greedy instead. Tell us about the Fool card. Yep, they took a risk. And the wheel of karma turned. Everyone will reap what they sow. Ooh, Yeah, they took a risk to go to the devil, to shady Capricorn energy. In their when they communicated to their own shady Scorpio nature, they decided sh- maybe shady Aries was also working through a shady Capricorn energy, and the shady Capricorn energy, maybe somebody from their past offered them a new emotional beginning, and they said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do that." So they went and took a risk to be in their own shady Capricorn energy, which is all the energies that aren't loving and kind and generous and hopeful and believing and fair and just and balanced. Instead, it could be all about selfishness, greed, lust, codependency, control, manipulation, deception, lies. And they think that probably they can have all this great worldly abundance and look like they're moving forward in a successful manner by being deceitful. So tell us about the chariot. They decided to walk away from the people they were in a relationship with that were emotionally balanced and wanting to move forward, and decided to give up. We go from 8 of cups to 5 of cups, so they let go of a 3 of cups of working together with someone emotionally. And really, it's kind of like people who get tempted in by this. It's kind of like the universe knows, in my opinion, that they're not ready to move forward. They still have lessons to learn. So, in their mind, they think, they're still focused on a relationship of the past that they feel they missed an emotional opportunity with. They could be somebody who just focuses on past regrets, and that's the stumbling block that keeps them from being able to face the future and align with love. So they have some lessons to go learn. So they're going to go get in a relationship, and yes, they're going to quickly go communicate probably with that person. So they probably go get in a relationship with that person. And of course, the universe wants everyone to. The universe actually wants people to learn their full potential. I mean, people can do whatever they want and they have free will to. But if they haven't learned their lessons, it's kind of like they need to go learn their lessons before they can move forward to realize their full potential. The universe does want people to be connected in with their emotions. I see this as Cancer, water sign energy of loving home and family type of emotional energy for people to heal, to listen to their heart and intuition, and to dream so that they can learn their lessons and tap into that youthful nature of hope, faith, and belief. So they offer forgiveness and compassion to the past, you know, when we're all on a soul's journey, and all the people we dealt with in the past and ourselves, we were just doing. When we think like a child, what's that Bible verse? When I was a child, I thought like a child, I spoke like a child, I acted like a child. But when I matured, I and became an adult, basically, or when I matured, I put away childish ways. And when you do that, you can offer forgiveness to the past because everybody's just fallible human beings, working through their own pain and issues. Some people never get out of it, some people do. And you decide the only way not to be imprisoned by the past is to let let it go, let the universe deal with those people, and you move forward and align with love. So, little did these people know when they got into this other relationship, probably because of their inner conflict and their competitive nature, that the universe is going to be there trying to illuminate their intuition for them to gain insight and understanding about this. The universe wants people to learn to have good boundaries, to not be defensive of moving forward, to not be defensive of standing in their inner youthful hope and belief and speaking their truth. So it might try to highlight to them they might have gotten in a relationship with someone who's just like them. And when they're with somebody who mirrors them back, and it's like, oh my gosh, I thought this was going to be this great beginning. And this other person's like, well, no, I'm defensive of speaking my truth because I'm immature. It's like, oh, shoot, I got in a relationship with someone just like myself. And comparing that to someone they used to be in a relationship with that was emotionally balanced and loving, it's kind of like, oh, wow, now I really see the difference. And hopefully, those people would choose to go about this in the positive way. They would decide, you know what? I do want to take creative action to be self sovereign, and I'm going to communicate to my home, my mind, that I'm no longer in delusion and I want to see my dreams come in. So they're going to put an end to these type of actions and put an end to being an immature Aries energy, and they're going to get emotionally balanced and walk away from those ways of being that are never going to bring them wish fulfillment, and deal with the regret of, you know, when you kind of acted immature and were probably hurtful and maybe tried to stop someone else from moving forward by creating conflict and competition. You got to deal with your regrets. You got to listen to your heart and you got to heal. But let's go see what kind of archetype would the people who succumbed, let's got a different card in there, to the people who succumbed to shady Aries energy, what kind of shadowy, kind of shadowy archetype would they have kind of been harnessing there? What type of shadowy archetype would the people who succumbed to shadowy Aries energy have been in? Victim and addict. Play the victim in order to get sympathy. They have an inability to maintain personal boundaries. That's why a shady Aries was able to get in their ear. And they compromise integrity and honesty because they have an addictive pattern which ends up overcoming their spirit and their hope and belief. So here we have like the wave of emotion, and this person doesn't want to, they keep pushing it off, like, I don't want to deal with my emotions, so instead I'm going to be bossy and controlling and take these risks so that I don't have to deal with my underlying issues. And if I leave one relationship to get in the other one, I'm just going to play the victim about it, because they have an allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle, and they have romantic delusions. So it kind of appeals to their Pisces nature of living in illusion and delusion. Whenever you're not aligned with the energy of love, it's either love or not love, you know? And you're either living in truth or you're living in illusion and confusion. For the people who end up coming out of this, we all know people who get stuck forever. And, that's the thing about the devil, it enslaves you and puts you in bondage. For the people who do overcome this energy and are able to get out of it and tap back into having hope, faith, and belief, and believing in a higher power. Well, for one, this doesn't belong in this deck, but I see I do have just a few of them in here. It says, wish granted, believe in your abilities as a magic maker to manifest your own wishes. They will soon be a reality. So tapping into positive Gemini energy, believing that they have the skills and resources every day to start working on manifesting their dreams into reality. When we start using our mind in a positive manner instead of a destructive, calculated, deceptive manner. So they would be a dilettante Don Juan. They delight in the arts without having to be a professional, so that they're no longer being superficial, and they can actually start using their emotional charms in a positive way instead of using them to create illusion and confusion in relationships, because they would now be a guide. They represent the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Let's go see, though, to get a little better understanding of why people succumb. These people who succumb to shady Aries energy whispering in their ear, they have inner conflict about listening to their intuition and authentically being themselves. So let's go see why. They are defensive of speaking their inner truth. Why would someone be defensive to speaking their inner truth? Hmm. Maybe because they'd have to admit maybe that they're emotionally confused and they kind of have, if they haven't been coming from an energy of love, they're really fearful of being hurt. They could be a very kind of arrogant, egotistical person wanting to win at all costs. The inner truth is I guess, maybe if they were always kind of shadowy, but it didn't really come out until it got to be where the people that they were in relationship wanted to move forward in this creative, inspired way. And then it's like, oh no, you don't realize it. I kind of live in la la land and I think I can get everything I want by being arrogant and controlling. So I have a win at all costs attitude about me. It's all about me. Tell us about their inner conflict. They have stress and anxiety about equal give and take, of being generous to others, maybe of sharing their resources. So maybe it's about, this is like, I view this as positive Scorpio energy, and here they went to shadowy Scorpio energy, and the counterpart to being a King of Cups, where we take action in the world, listening to our heart and intuition. If we're going to do that, our counterpart internally needs to be a Queen of Cups, where we're willing to go into those really deep, unconditionally loving energies of deep Scorpio emotion. And this person, they'd kind of have to change their foundation. This Six of Pentacles about exchanging resources. They operate from a different type of foundation. Like their Three of Pentacles, they'd have to exchange one Three of Pentacles foundation for another one to add this in there. Right now, the foundation this person just might operate from is Five of Wands, competitive, Nine of Wands, defensive, and Page of Swords, immature. And they'd maybe have to be willing to be like more of an Aries Fool, a Chariot Cancer energy. That would make them be able to be a King of Cups in the world. And they have a lot of stress and anxiety about doing that. Possibly due to issues around love. They'd have to learn to mother themselves. The Queen of Cups can be like a mother energy. In order to move forward in your life, you have to learn to be your own best mother, father, coach, voice in your own head. You have to quit being codependent on other people to mother you. In order to do that, maybe to separate from a foundation, they would have to give a lot of thought to the energy of love, maybe deal with issues about their own mother. I don't know. Why does it cause them so much stress to think of that? Oh, because they always thought that they could have victory in their life by aligning with the Queen of Pentacles. Like they could just present as a King of Cups, like, oh, look, I'm presenting as I'm loving and I'm kind, but really, I'm not aligned within myself. I'm more emotionally invested in money and materialism. And oops, I dropped some cards here. Let's see what mine to fall on the floor. What did they want people to just completely throw off the table? Yeah, they expect their dreams to come in by just being immature. Maybe, this too can be a mother energy. Maybe this was the type of mother energy they grew up with, so they always thought they'd be in a relationship with someone like that. But in order to move forward in this positive way, we need to let go of our past foundations. It doesn't mean you can't love and everything with your former family, but you have to learn to take responsibility to mother yourself, which you need to tap into your own inner Queen of Cups. Again, this person might be looking for someone. Again, if you're in shadowy energy, you are codependent, so they might have been looking for a replacement mother figure or somebody who seemed like their mother. Tell us about, why do they have conflict about listening to their intuition about love and Leo energy? Oh, they could have inner conflict because there's secrets about a Leo energy in their life. Maybe a Leo was their mother. Sun sign, maybe. And so they're defensive about speaking their truth. Tell us about what is the secret. They have inner conflict. They also could have secretly been wanting to have a new beginning with someone else and they weren't revealing that. They have inner conflict of listening to their intuition about being emotionally loving in a home and in their overarching belief system. So sometimes I think of the Page of Wands as just being your own mind and within yourself. So they have inner conflict of listening to their intuition about being loving within themselves and in their overarching belief system by which they make decisions. And they have inner conflict about being a Queen of Cups in a relationship or coming together in celebration in a marriage. Um, you know, um, hmm. They have inner conflict. What they don't want to probably have illuminated is that the secret is in this relationship, they were working together with someone who was their counterpart in a marriage. And it maybe did align with their belief system. They were also maybe making decisions from that place. And they have inner conflict and they're keeping it secret that that maybe had been a relationship that they had been in, but they held back from that type of relationship because they're still clinging to an old foundation where they want to always expected to maybe be in a relationship with like a Queen of Pentacles because maybe when they were in that relationship, we have the Queen of Cups and the Hierophant Taurus. In order to move forward in this positive way, this person would have had to tap into aligning with themselves in Cancer, Scorpio energy. And this person, as a Taurus, always expected to get in a relationship with another Earth sign energy. Okay. Um, what's going to be illuminated? They could have even had inner conflict that the person they were with in positive Cancer chariot energy here, who is a Queen of Cups, is at peace and rest within themselves and is creative and inspired, and they listen to their overarching belief system, and that causes this person conflict. If they don't have a higher belief system, they are the highest law as an Aries Emperor energy, and it's kind of like, I'm supposed to be the boss. Why are you? It's kind of like living in, those foreign countries that dictate that people aren't supposed to have a higher belief system because the government authority is supposed to be the highest belief system. And if this person doesn't have a higher belief system, they don't like to be in relationships with people who have a higher belief system because they don't have one and they think they're the boss and the ruler of the universe and you should submit to their rule of law. What's maybe going to be illuminated is that this person was defensive of harnessing positive Libra energy, being just and fair and balanced, and they were defensive of offering love, of tapping into that inner youthful nature, maybe of apologizing if they did something wrong in this relationship, because they could have walked away from this person and they kind of regretted it. The person they left had regrets, but they decided, I'm going to go do this instead. And they maybe made a mind over heart decision to do this because they have inner conflict, or they're just someone who lives more from their mind, and so their mind just like, nope, we're not going to listen to our emotions because we find those confusing. So let's go see. They took action here to have a dream come into reality. They thought their dreams would come into reality being bossy. Let's go see what dream they thought was going to come into reality. Oh, that they could be deceptive and manipulative by taking action, maybe being defensive. What else was the dream? They wanted to sneak away to the past. They wanted to reunite with someone from their past, repeat past patterns of the past, be in relationships with people who reminded them of their past. And they think it's fair and just to do that because they're the highest authority in the world as far as they're concerned. And they're just going to balance out their emotions about their belief system or this other marriage that they left or the relationship they get in. Hmm. So they thought their dreams would come in deceptively. They might have thought that if they were deceptive and kind of repeated past patterns of the past of being in this immature, shady Aries energy, that maybe people who were fair and just would just balance out their emotions and continue to be in this relationship with this person. Here we have Libra energy, Sagittarius energy, and Taurus energy, and a happy family. Or they think their dreams will come into reality by being deceptive and manipulative and maybe going and having victory and aligning with more of a Queen of Cups energy because they harness Taurus energy. So two earth sign energies, and they want to reunite with someone like that because that's how they kind of grew up, more of the earthly realm, 3D, instead of this loving, emotional type of way of being. Not to say that earth signs are very loving and all that good stuff too, but if this is the energy foundation that they're going to align with, none of those are water sign energies. I mean, they want to work together emotionally with someone, but it is maybe it's in shadowy Aries energy, and they're maybe going to do it as a Libra, Sag, Taurus energy. And they think that is how they view happiness and teach their own. Huh. Tell us, what does this. Someone could have made them an offer, maybe someone from their past, or they just decided to emotionally be reckless and impulsive and follow their wishes and wants. Tell us, what does the Knight of Cups have to say? Oh, kind of like instead of being a true emperor where you make decisions that are best for everyone involved and take into consideration all aspects, it's kind of like, how about you leave that behind and come take a risk and be with me? And we can move forward. Kind of like shady Aries whispering in their ear. Tell us what the Knight of Wands was thinking. Oh my gosh, that would be my complete happiness to be with a Page of Pentacles. So again, an Earth sign energy, um, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and they don't specifically have to be that that sign, but it's someone who's saying, I'm willing to build new with you. I'm willing to make it maybe more earthly based, that's more aligned with your belief system instead of moving forward in this more emotional manner that's maybe like a little bit of like a foreign land. Okay, well, I think the universe always wants to try to teach people to live their full life. What would have been some of the shadow aspects of these people who listen to shadowy Aries energy? Of like, what? I can just be immature and impulsive and just make decisions that are best for me. And if I was in a relationship or with a happy family, I can just leave them to get in a relationship a little more aligned with my earthly belief system. Because these people over here that wanted to move forward and trust the universe probably believe in a divine power, and that causes me emotional confusion. I live in delusion. I haven't seen that the reason we grow and mature best from love is because there is a life force energy. Oops. Maybe they didn't want us to see that they're codependent and unfocused. Ooh, because they're a liar. Well, shady energy would be kind of that shadowy energy, and those sides of us of fear and insecurity are lying to us. Tell us what the universe has planned for these people. Well, I think the story just kind of repeats and plays itself out that these people decided to become single. They communicated to someone else that they saw them as an emotional option, and they had a dream of, being in a relationship with them, and that's what they've decided. They think their dreams can come into reality with that person, and they're willing to be deceptive and manipulative to sneak away from whatever. If this could just represent their positive side, we all have free will and struggle with us internally. Or they were deceptive to someone they were moving forward with, and they said, you know what, I want to reunite with my shady Aries side and anyone else in my past who reminds me of that. And I just think, since I'm the ruler of the universe, that I think that's just and fair. And I'm just going to balance out my emotions about the fact that I have an earthly, worldly belief system, kind of all about wealth, money, image, status, and reputation. But I think it ended because they probably got in a relationship with someone who's just like themselves. For the shady people, the person they were probably with, when you're only with somebody for image and reputation, if someone else comes around that's got more image, more reputation, clout, whatever, that person's going to offer their emotions like, oh my gosh, you would make me even happier because I would even look more financially wealthy or whatever. And they're going to take a leap away from the decision that they'd made to get in with this person and moving forward in the manner they thought they were going to move forward in a that would look successful. This person decided, one or both of them decided, no, I'm going to go repeat the past patterns of the past too, and this other person's going to be left in regret because they walk away. Now, what we would hope is that some people would decide, they would realize that this is an illusion and that this is deceptive, and that they want to quit repeating past patterns of the past. They want to do what's fair and just, and they want to balance out their emotions about their overarching belief system. And, because maybe even to do this person might have had to go against their belief system, to be in this relationship. If somebody got in a relationship that was not aligned with their belief system, why would they do that? Hmm. Because they'd really have to shake up maybe their core foundation of how they view life and make changes, and they don't want to do that. That would be a major disruption to, who knows, maybe their whole family and everything, maybe the whole society where they live. It's like everybody says that you should do this, and they're just not people who step out and are bold and confident and independent from, stand on their own 2 feet type of people. And so that would be really disruptive. But it is possible that some people could decide um, that they are willing to do that. And if they were willing to do that, they'd put an end to this and they would offer love to the future, that they are willing to trust the universe and make a decision that's best for them and everyone else involved. And they're going to take inspired action to either return to a happy family or be in that energy, and they're willing to take a risk to get emotionally balanced so that they can walk away from the old ways of deal with their past regrets and start listening to their heart and intuition and heal so that they can learn their lessons and offer love to the past and forgiveness and move forward aligned with love, like the 2 of Cups there. When we face forward and we quit focusing on past regrets and we nurture ourselves so we love ourselves, then they could listen to their intuition, fight for the things that they're passionate about, maybe quit being so worldly focused as the King of Pentacles and instead move towards their Cancer Pisces emotional side, because the universe, the foundation that happened really was to reveal that they need to come from the energy of love and realize, let go of thinking that love is optional, that materialism and stuff is going to bring you happiness, and instead see the truth that to love yourself and to love others is a free will choice that's kind of a gift from the universe. But you need to bring down your old foundations of what you perceive as love. So, but if shady Aries gets their way, they're going to try to get in people's ear to cause them conflict and fighting. So they'll have conflict about listening to their intuition, that they'll be defensive, that they'll be living in illusion that, instead of doing love, let's just get in relationships that are more transactional and we can exchange resources where, the extent of our emotional investment is more about building wealth and success and not actually getting emotionally balanced and getting in the driver's seat of our free will. Let's just be a slave to all the things that drive us, all our wants and desires. So, anyway, if you were ever dealing with anyone who got enticed by shady Aries energy, you keep moving forward because who knows if they'll ever learn their lessons. And it all might have happened to let you know that this person wasn't meant to go with you on the journey forward. And the universe revealed that to you, maybe by having a tower moment happen. And this person wasn't treating you with the love and kindness that you deserved, and maybe the universe wanted to let you know that you need to move forward. But if the universe is going to work on this person, the universe will drag their butt up to you one day, and you probably know them better than they know themselves, so you would know what they'd have to tell you about all the things they've learned. But in the meantime, you keep moving forward. Shady Aries, thank you for telling us what you're doing out there in Tarot Land, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.